One of the biggest narratives in college football right now is the rise of Colorado football and Coach Prime. Pretty much every day there's a new article, a new player, or a new soundbite coming out of Colorado, and many people are talking about how Colorado is going to go from a dumpster fire program to a Pac-12 winning program in 1 year. All of this is going to magically happen because of their new head coach, Deion Sanders, and while he did a tremendous job at Jackson State, especially when it came to recruiting and team culture, it is fair to be skeptical of what's going on in Boulder. Colorado hasn't just been a bad program, they've been arguably one of the worst Power 5 programs in the last 20 years. The Buffaloes, I believe, have only had one winning season in the last 15 years, excluding 2020, and it's been a really rough time in Boulder. The Buffaloes have an unbelievably difficult schedule next year, have a lot to figure out, and now have unbelievable expectations. One of the things that Coach Prime did when he first got there was talk about the transfer portal. He said he was going to use it to his advantage, and he talked about how some of the players that were already at Colorado needed to hop in the portal. Well, we just saw one of the most shocking events in college football this offseason as a player just made Coach Prime eat his own words, and now Colorado lost one of their top players for this season. Today we're going to be talking about Montana lemonious-Craig. He's been a playmaker for the Buffaloes over the last 3 years and had an unbelievable spring game this past Saturday. He had 6 catches for 168 yards and 2 touchdowns and had a 98-yard score, which made all 45,000 fans in attendance go nuts. What he did today is shocking. He decided to enter the transfer portal, take advantage of all the hype around his name, and will likely find a new school. Personally, I'm not going to root against Colorado football or their success, but it is kind of funny that he's using all this Colorado Coach Prime hype to his advantage, and now he's taking a major risk. In today's video, I want to quickly introduce you to who this guy is, talk about the insanity that just went on, and why I think this happened. But first, be sure to subscribe, leave a like if you want to support today's video, and let me know what topic I can cover next. Now let's go ahead and get started. For a quick flashback in time, Montana lemonious-Craig was a 3-star recruit coming out of the class of 2020. He went to Inglewood High School in Southern California and committed to Colorado over Auburn, BYU, and a couple of other schools. He would join head coach Karl Dorrell, and he was just your average 3-star player. According to 24/7 Sports, MLC was a 3-star recruit, the number 56 athlete, and the 957th best player in the class of 2020. Year 1 under Dorrell was interesting, as the world was absolutely crazy at the time, and while they did do decent and had a winning record, most of it was really fool's gold. In 2021, Colorado went back to their losing ways, and in 2022, they went 1-11 and were pretty much non-competitive in every game. Karl Dorrell was fired mid-season, and an interim head coach was promoted. After the season, the Colorado administration made a huge risk and decided to hire Coach Prime. It brought immediate hype to Colorado, has brought big players in, the number 1 transfer portal class, and more importantly, just a lot of talk around the program. After being one of the top wide receivers on the team, MLC was pumped for Prime to come in. He said, quote, "The vibes are electric and there's a lot of energy and excitement around the program. Coach is a great guy and cares about his players." So last year he started all 12 games and most recently had that unbelievable spring game performance. As I said earlier, he caught 6 passes for 168 yards and 2 touchdowns. In his career so far, he's had 34 catches for 497 yards and 5 touchdowns. He's made 9 starts and also has 39 career tackles. He's one of those guys who can do a little bit of everything and has some experience, and that's why Colorado really needed him for this year. Unfortunately though, he decided to enter the transfer portal. So what the heck is going on here? In some people's minds, Craig's an idiot, and others think he's a genius. On Saturday, with 45,000 fans and millions others watching on TV, everyone watched lemonious-Craig go nuts. His 98-yard touchdown was insane, and now he is gambling on himself. This morning he decided to enter the transfer portal and will try to find a new school. In my opinion, there are 2 angles from this. One, he actually is genuinely interested in leaving and finding another school that could offer him some money, or 2, he might be trying to leverage a higher NIL deal at Colorado. Right now, it seems the Buffaloes and boosters will pay anything and do anything to keep these good players and these winning vibes around, so maybe that's his angle, but more than likely, it's the first one. What's funny is, it's not like Coach Prime has been opposed to players entering the portal either. A few months ago, he said, quote, "I'm coming, and when I get there, it's going to be changed. So I want you all to get ready to go ahead and jump in that transfer portal and do whatever you're going to do, because the more you jump into the transfer portal, the more room you make, because we bring kids that are smart and tough." In case you weren't aware of this was absolutely embarrassing, and while a lot of people thought it was funny, it was definitely a jab at that team and the players there. In reality, Sanders has lost the 2 biggest games he's ever coached in the 21 and 2022 Celebration Bowl and publicly embarrassed some of his future players. They had just gone 1-11 and had heard enough about how awful they were. Instead of some sort of motivational speech, he decided to make a laughingstock of them. Basically, he wanted them to go, and I guess lemonious-Craig took it to heart. We'll never really know what his intentions were, as maybe he loved the new staff and was excited to be a part of it, or maybe he felt criticized and felt wronged by the new staff and decided he was going to use all that hoopla to his advantage. Last year, Colorado's only victory was an overtime win against Cal, and that was the only reason they didn't go 0-12. This program has only had 2 winning seasons since 2005, and maybe lemonious-Craig wants to go to a school that'll win immediately, or maybe he thinks that all this Colorado hype is a house of cards. Personally, I think it's a pretty funny story, and either way, I'm rooting for him wherever he goes, and I'm rooting for Colorado as well. Many of you guys watching today's video might think I'm a Coach Prime hater or a non-Colorado believer, but in my opinion, there's just way too much going on here, there's way too much hype, and there's a lot that could go wrong. I just find it funny how he used Coach Prime's words, and it's definitely one of the more interesting stories in college football we've seen this spring. But what do you guys think? What do you think of Montana-Craig entering the portal? What are your thoughts on the situation? And what do you think of Coach Prime in Colorado for 2023? Be sure to let me know down below, leave a like if you want to support today's video, subscribe if you're new, and check out all my other videos on the end screen. I hope to see you guys again soon, but until next time, peace.